Good evening, City Council and Mayor. 85 years ago, last Thursday, was the anniversary of Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass in Germany. My father was an 8-year-old Jewish boy in Germany on that day. Thugs came to his house, removed the shutters of the house, threw him through the window, went inside, and threw every article of furniture and clothing and possessions out the window. For the next 7 years, my father was on the run from Nazis. He hid in barns. He hid with school teachers. He hid in an orphanage. He hid in the mountains, almost starving to death, for 7 years. When the thugs came to his house, his father was already in Dachau concentration camp. He had been removed so as not to create any problem for the thugs that were coming to his house. So it was my surprise last Thursday that I stood and watched a protest, coincidentally, on the 85-year anniversary of Kristallnacht happening on Pack Square, which I would call an anti-Jewish protest. They had signs that said ceasefire, which is fine, which I would agree with if the 239 hostages were released. They also had signs that said resistance is justified, justifying the murder of 1,400 Jewish people. They also had signs saying from the river to the sea, which is the call for the annihilation of the Jewish people in Israel, 50% of the Jewish population. And yet they say they're anti-Zionist, not anti-Semitic. I would like to know if any type of population was 50% in one country and people called for their annihilation, any group of people other than Jews, would that be considered racist? It would be. Now, you may want to argue with the indigeneity of the Jewish people, although there's plenty of evidence, including the temple that is still there, to which the Muslims in 7th century built a mosque on top of the most holy site of the Jews. You can also talk about the DNA evidence that shows that European Jewish ancestry comes from the Middle East through the haplogene, male gene, and also that on the female side, the mitochondrial gene comes from 4 women from the Middle East. But that's fine. I do think that we need to be careful. I'm all for free speech, but I think hate speech is not something that we should condone. Thank you.
Thank you.